Welcome everyone. I am making this video to mark an important occasion, namely the milestone of achieving 1,000 subscribers. Now that's not a huge number.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Now that's not a huge number maybe, but it's still, I think, is significant. It's a landmark. It's a milestone for me. I never thought that I would get that much interest, and lo and behold, we have gotten 1,000 subscribers. Needless to say, the content on my channel is pretty unusual, and it's very niche, and so I didn't really imagine that we'd get that many people, but we have. And interestingly enough, when I first started this channel, I really, wasn't that, optimistic. So I think we established it. What was it? August 15th?
Yeah, I have it pulled up here. August 15th, 2018. That's
yeah,
when we established
we made a couple of videos, didn't take too much interest in it after that. And this is my son. He's appearing in the video. He's the guy behind the camera. He's done the editing and so forth. Hussein, my son. So.
I'm in some videos.
And I think you were in the horror reaction video. So
go and check that video out.
So it's quite a milestone. And interestingly enough, we've gotten, it says here, 42,961 views overall. So that's
amazing.
Again, amazing considering the kind of the content we have. Although I think that some of the more esoteric content is probably the least viewed. The series I have on Ibn Sina's Kitab Shīʿah, even when I made that, I didn't expect millions and millions of viewers. That's obviously...
We were getting like maybe 50, 60 views.
But then surprisingly, one of the earliest videos I made is my top ranking video.
The library video.
The library video.
My library.
And then
which you would think is our first video, but it's not. The first video we ever uploaded was the true rank and nature of Imam Ali, or something like that.
Correct, yeah.
And those first few videos were not very well made, and we didn't have enough equipment, and we just kind of felt rather discouraged, and we just deserted the channel. And then we came back after like a year or two.
Yeah, I think just as the so-called lockdown began.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once the lockdown hit, we sort of had a bit more motivation to do something.
And then subsequently we made kind of a follow-up much later, it was more recently, but much later after that library video, the Infinite Library. That also got a huge interest. And oddly enough, another one of the very early videos, the video on René Guénon.
One thing I want to say about
that has gotten a huge amount of interest, and every few days I get comments on that video.
Yeah,
it's surprising.
Still to this day. I don't know if many people know this, but the library video, I think partially why it has so many views is, I don't think we ever said this on the channel, it got posted on 4chan.
Now there's a weird
the literature 4chan. And if you know anything about 4chan, it's an anonymous message board site.
Yeah, so that was unexpected, but that's the nature of the web. You have no idea where your content is going to end up, and maybe in the more
pushed the video to 1,000 views.
Well, that's the whole point. You have no idea what's going to happen, and sometimes people in the strangest parts of the world are watching. I mean, we have probably one of the most wide-ranging audiences geographically speaking. I think the strangest places, I thought anyway, was somebody from Aruba.
Yeah.
Apparently I've gotten views in Aruba, the island nation of Aruba.
13 views, it says, from Aruba.
13 views. Of course, since this is mainly a channel in the English language, and we've got the Anglophone world in the top 5. So the United States of America, the United Kingdom, India, and Pakistan, and Indonesia, in that order.
Yeah.
Indonesia I wouldn't have expected, but there is a lot of Muslim sort of content on my channel, content of interest to Muslims, and it's interesting that Indonesia is the largest Muslim country by population.
Yeah.
So, what are some other peculiar countries we have here? I don't know.
Canada.
Canada's a peculiar country, yes.
Yeah, very much. Russia. Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
Oh, we do have Germany.
Austria. Ukraine.
And then oddly enough, Saudi
Arabia, yes, sir. Shout out to my fans.
I thought our
Saudi
videos
Arabia
would have been blocked in Saudi Arabia.
Well, I think they've discovered something, VPN. So
we have Maldives.
We have the UAE also.
UAE is here as well. South Africa, Mexico. Wouldn't have expected that. Iraq, Iran, of course.
Of course, yes.
Poland, Finland, Belarus, Qatar.
Qatar.
Yeah, Aruba's there. Nigeria,
yeah.
Ireland,
a huge range.
and all the way at the bottom are Denmark and Peru. So
Denmark and Peru. Imagine that. Peru.
whoever's watching from there, hello.
Whoever's watching from Peru, hello.
I love how you can see this on YouTube now. This is probably my favorite feature, is seeing just how many views we get all over the world.
Yeah, thanks to the data scientists of the world. So we have a lot planned for the channel in the next 3 months. Yes, this is our cat as well. He's in the video. Didn't really feel like moving him. We don't really have a name for the cat. We're constantly trying to think of names. But we haven't been able to come up with a good name. I was thinking that Marcus Aurelius would be a good name for the
You can
cat.
name him...
He's such a stoic creature.
Yeah, very much so. Or Boethius.
Or Boethius, I don't know. Homer. Yeah,
people would think
it's
we named him
such a
after...
disaster that ever since that cartoon was
Yeah,
made,
we
people
would
think that Homer is some cartoon character and they
Who
don't
drinks too much beer.
associate
and
him with
laughs
the
too much.
great epic poet. At any rate, so we have a lot of stuff planned for the next 3 months for the channel. I started a new series which we've uploaded the first one. We're still in the process of shooting and editing the rest of the lectures on theodicy, or the problem of evil. That was an interest of Hussein.
Yeah.
And so I thought that I was doing this kind of class for him, but then I thought we might as well upload it. It could be of interest. And surprisingly, I got a lot of interesting feedback on that video.
Yeah,
People
2 new patrons from it.
2 new
actually.
patrons. Speaking of which,
Yeah.
Patreon. Why don't you say a few words about our Patreon?
Yeah, we started it not too long ago, and we have about 20 patrons almost.
Yeah.
And we highly encourage everyone to go and check it out. We have 3 tiers. We just called them, I don't remember, bronze, silver, and gold.
Precisely. I mean, this is really sort of niche content in the sense that
Yeah.
I didn't imagine a lot of interest for this, but there are some dedicated people who are interested there. These videos do take a lot more time to make than you might think. There's editing and
there's a lot of preparation.
There is a fair amount of research for some videos.
We're collecting sources and
I mean, I don't have everything on the tip of my tongue all the time, most of the time, but not all the time. So, especially for the Lady of Heaven series, there was a lot of research. Even if one knows the sources, you need to know the pages and the volume numbers, and I'm very particular.
And we do have a high standard
about citation
for our content, unlike other people.
Yeah, I'm very particular about accurate citation, and especially in those kind of videos, putting up the pages with the quotations from the book so that you can see, and then translating and so forth. So if Patreon is not for you, we've also got PayPal. We've added that to all our videos. So there is PayPal.
So Patreon is a monthly contribution, and it does help. It goes a long way, whatever tier you choose. But if you just want to do a one-time donation, I mean, the PayPal is there for you.
PayPal is there, right?
And we have received some.
So we'll be
already.
continuing with the Theodicy, or the Problem of Evil series. And I have also found a lot of people have submitted various kinds of inquiries to me at various times through my email and through my social media. There is surprisingly a lot of interest in Islamic philosophy, but a lot of the material that is available on the subject in writing, for example, is usually of a very high standard, or for specialists. And even the videos which are out there, of which I am responsible for some, like the Ibn Sina lectures, which I have on his Kitab al-Shifa, they already assume a fair amount of acquaintance with the subject.
Yeah,
so
I don't even understand them.
Yeah, so we're planning to do a series of short videos introducing key figures from Islamic philosophy, like Ibn Sina, like Ibn Rushd, Al-Kindi, and so forth, the big names.
Yeah, the first one will be about Al-Kindi.
So yeah, we're preparing one on Al-Kindi, and these are going to be short videos, like 10 minutes.
10,
so like,
12 minutes.
It's various Islamic philosophers in 10 minutes. So that's also planned for the coming months. Another area on which has received a tremendous amount of interest is my occult videos, especially those having to do with the mathematics of magic squares. So the 3x3, 4x4, 5x5 videos are already up and have been for quite some time. They've done pretty well. I'm planning to do some videos on higher order magic squares, really large magic squares,
Yeah,
like
27 by
27, 25 by 25, large magic squares, and their mathematics and their structure and how they're put together, and some of the occult symbolism in those. So that's also something I've got planned for the coming months. And I had mentioned already about the Problem of Evil lecture series, which I started. That also has received a fair amount of interest, including a lot of questions which I've received, and So I will be dealing with some of those questions under my office hours series rather than with the problem of evil series. It'd be too much. And we're trying to keep those lectures to within like an hour or so, 55 minutes to an hour. So we'll probably be dealing with those questions separately. Like someone was asking about, how does the martyrdom of Imam Hussein alayhi salam fit into the whole problem of evil?
Right.
So I'll be doing a video on that as well, hopefully quite soon. And anyhow, we really appreciate everyone who has followed along and been watching all this time and has supported us and joined us on Patreon.
These videos take a long time to make, and they can
subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, they can get kind of frustrating to make at times when you upload them and they get like maybe 200-300 views, and then you look at the kind of content that gets much more views. We don't have to mention any names, but it can get kind of demoralizing. But
yeah, this is a problem, especially when we talk about so-called Muslim YouTube.
There really is no standard of citations.
Yeah, there's no standard of citations. Even people who have reasonable qualifications in Arabic and what have you, they just sort of talk informally. Yeah, the standard is just pretty low.
Yeah,
I think many people. No, I think many people on so-called Islamic YouTube, they just want to be entertained, and we're trying to inform. And Muslims in particular, they just love to be outraged.
And they love to talk about.
To talk about their outrage. And look, we have to sort of raise the bar. That's what at least I have been trying to do.
That's why we started this channel.
So
really was to.
Well, that was one part.
Yeah, it was really to bring something a little more nuanced and scholarly and academic to this sphere.
Exactly. So if you are interested in scholarship,
and we appreciate
learning.
We don't have a big audience, but we have a small dedicated
audience.
I think I'd rather have that than have a million subscribers who'd never watch our videos.
Right. So if you are interested in this kind of content, scholarly content that is well aware of nuance when it comes to these kind of questions, then please do subscribe, share our videos, like them, encourage other people to subscribe. If you feel inclined, Patreon is a great way, to show your support, as well as PayPal. We really appreciate everyone who's been watching and following along and supporting our channel, and we hope to continue to see you there. Stay tuned. Thank you very much.